Today I'm diving into Chained Echoes Ashes of Elrant, the long-awaited expansion to one of the best indie RPGs of the last decade. Now I've played the opening moments and I really want to discuss what it's all about, but also whether this is something only returning fans will appreciate, or if it's actually going to be worth jumping in fresh for new players too. Now if you are new here, I cover all things Nintendo Switch daily, so reviews, previews, performance breakdowns, deals. And yeah, if that's what you're after, do me a favour, help a small channel out and subscribe. It means a huge amount. Alright, let's get into it. So for those who missed it back in 2022, Chained Echoes is a turn-based RPG built like it came straight out of the 16-bit golden era, but with the pace, polish and ambition of something modern. So yeah, it's really blending that tactical combat with a huge world to explore. Now you'll follow a ragtag group caught in a war between three kingdoms, but what starts as a political power struggle quickly turns into something far bigger, with mechs and ancient magic all in the mix. The writing is sharp, the pixel art is gorgeous, and the combat system, it keeps you thinking every single turn thanks to what's known as the overdrive mechanic. It basically pushes you to balance offense and defense to really stay in a sweet spot. It's a game, however, that already felt complete when it launched. No filler, no fluff, it's very much straight to the point, which is why the announcement of Ashes of Elrant had me wondering, how do you expand on something that already nailed it the first time? So it achieves this by actually saying Ashes of Elrant isn't a what happened next story. It's a new chapter that's folded into the core adventure, and it's actually set right before the final act of Chained Echoes. So basically, while you and your crew are preparing for the last battle, a new caller for help pulls the Crimson Wings into uncharted territory. Now this new journey takes you to Elrant, a forgotten region where the lines between friend and foe blur quickly. Here, nothing is quite what it seems, and as the mission unfolds, it sheds new light on the game's wider history and the origins of one of its most mysterious factions. And now, this leads us to the question, do you need experience with the base game? And in my opinion, absolutely. Now technically, the DLC is standalone in the sense that you can load it straight from the main menu. You'll still need to own the base game, but once you do load in, you get the choice here of using your own save file or starting with an unlocked party. So yeah, even if you haven't beaten the main story, you can jump right in. But would you want to? And honestly, I can't see why you would. Without the context of the story and the relationships between the cast, a lot of this is gonna lose its impact. And while, yes, there is a recap, it's just a handful of text screens. It definitely reminded me of some beats, but the moment you're in control, the game throws you straight into heavy fights, the kind that expect you to already know your party's strengths, weaknesses, and synergy. It's gonna be a sharp difficulty curve if, like me, you've been away for a while, because there's no re-explaining of anything here really, the overdrive bar, swapping party members mid-battle, or the fact that skills are unlocked and leveled. I'd forgotten a lot of that and found myself stumbling early on. But once you do settle back in, I'll say this. The DLC wastes no time, it whisks you away to Elrant. I really do like that. It's a new location with its own mood, architecture, and atmosphere. It's definitely distinct from anywhere else in Chained Echoes, yet it still feels like it belongs, with enemy designs and environmental details that reward slowing down and exploring between encounters. So once you do find that footing, the early hours are really about picking your way through a new land, uncovering the shape of a new threat, and for me, rebalancing my party to fit how I like to play. And that's the hook of Ashes of Elrant. It's still the Chained Echoes you remember, just with new pieces that shake up the flow. And on this journey, there's a lot of new things to expect. Elrant itself is a sizable new area, home to over 40 new monsters and bosses. The White Wolf is a new playable character. They join early, bringing a skill set that's designed to slot naturally into your roster, rather than feel like a gimmick. The combat then sticks to what Chained Echoes does best. Fast, tactical battles built around smart use of the overdrive bar. And then there's the party point system, letting you unlock passive boosts and overdrive enhancements as you win fights. Outside of the combat then, you can expect new minigames like fishing and digging, not really my thing in any game, but they're basically tedium, the video game. But yeah, I guess they're there if you want them. Sky Armor also makes a return, essentially giving you flying mechs for tackling aerial enemies. You can cross certain areas with them as well more freely, and you'll be picking up new gear for them. It is still one of the game's signature features, and here it's expanded with new encounters, new equipment. I really, again, like that too. From a gameplay and narrative perspective then, my early impression is that this is a nice distraction, a good excuse for more chained echoes, but it doesn't carry quite the same weight as the original. That's partly because the base game was crafted over more than 7 years with a singular focus. This DLC, while polished, can't entirely hide the fact that it's been bolted onto what is, in my opinion, a finished masterpiece. Now, no doubt that is thanks to the fact the base game proved extremely successful. I do not blame them, but I think most will feel that way. Visually then, it's as beautiful as ever. The same meticulous pixel art style from the base game, it's back. Every animation is incredible. The environments are layered, just tiny details everywhere, and the world feels lived in. Elrant as well, its personality, really like it. New foliage, colours, locations, patterns, and lighting gives it this slightly more foreboding atmosphere. Enemy sprites as well, everything from tiny kind of weird little creatures to towering bosses with incredibly complex attack animations. Dungeon layouts then are varied, mixing tight corridors with some really nice wide kind of scenic areas. And yeah, it's a game that definitely encourages you to stop and take it in. The music then is just as strong. The base game's soundtrack was one of its defining features, and Ashes of Elrant builds on its confidence. Familiar themes return at key moments, tying the DLC back to that main story. I wanted that, but there's also a few new tracks in here, and in the early hours, they stand out. Really do appreciate them. But yeah, I think the soundtrack is actually one of the things I remember most about the original game, and yeah, it's definitely not disappointing. So far, Ashes of Elrant feels like a welcome return. It's not essential, but it's rewarding if you're ready for it. For returning players who still remember the systems, the party dynamics, and the story beats, it's an easy recommendation. You'll step back in and immediately feel at home. Now, if it's been a few years, like it has for me, be prepared for some frustration and a crash course in just refamiliarizing yourself with the game's core systems. You know, Ashes of Elrant doesn't hold your hand. It's not going to reteach you the overdrive bar, remind you how and when to swap party members mid-battle, or ease you back in with easy encounters. Within minutes, it's throwing enemies your way that expect you to be thinking 2 or 3 turns ahead, making use of buffs and debuffs, and exploiting weaknesses without hesitation. That initial adjustment, it can be rough if you've forgotten the finer details, and you might find yourself taking a fair few losses before you hit that stride again. But once that muscle memory clicks back into place, it becomes clear that the challenge is part of the appeal. It respects that you've already proven yourself once before, and it's here to test you all over again. If you are completely new then, play the original first. You will appreciate every single callback, every character beat, and every musical cue so much more. So look, overall, it might not have the same weight or singular vision again as the 7-year journey that produced the base game, but it's still more chained echoes, and that's something worth celebrating. So yeah, will you be checking out this DLC? Let me know in the comments down below. Did you play the base game? If not, you absolutely should. It's one of the best RPGs on the system, in my opinion. And yeah, if you are looking forward to this one, let me know if you have any questions that I can answer that I didn't get to in this video. Now, if you did enjoy this one, then do me a favor, subscribe, helps out the channel a huge amount, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers all.